Hello, welcome along, welcome back to the channel. Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and here we are now with part 9 of this beautiful build of the Lancaster bomber B.III in Dambuster Type 464 mode from Hachette. If you'd like to join in with me and build along, then have a look at this I'm going to put on the screen now. And you've got a QR code there you can scan on your phone, and that'll take you straight to the website where you can subscribe and join in with the fun, or indeed you can go to the website listed across the bottom of the page there. So here we are now. We have part 9. So we've done all the parts up to part 8. Last time we finished off this starboard fuselage panel here, which is looking very, very lovely. Looking at these gauges, there are no decal gauges included. I wonder if they were going to supply decals for all these gauges, and it would appear they're not. So when I do my updated build, which I'm going to be doing very soon, I keep saying I know, but when I do my updated build, I'm going to include decals, and I'll show you where you can get them from and everything. And there's some bits and pieces of painting to do as well. So let's have a look at part 9. So as usual, we'll get the magazine out and have a look. We'll get the parts out as well. Put the bag to one side. So there's the parts we've got in part 9. So let's have a look at what we've got here. So as usual, we've got our magazine with all the contents here. We've got the picture of the finished model there, and then we've got all our contacts details there should you want to get hold of them. I am being informed regularly by viewers that apparently the Hachette customer service is very good indeed. So we've got our bits and pieces here. There's our full contents. The parts in this issue fit tightly and are designed as push-fit connections. However, due to the manufacturing and paint finish, you may find you need to file away some of the paint on the pegs or the sockets. If you file too much away, you will need to use a little super glue. There we go. So we'll be looking at that as we go. Right, so we're straight into the instructions here on this one. So here's all the instructions. It looks like we're building up the board for the sort of panel that sits just to the right of the navigator. So number 617 Squadron, created in March 43 to undertake specialist bombing missions, of which the Dambuster's raid was the most famous. Of course, they also bombed Tirpitz and everything. And there we can see a Vulcan from 61 Squadron on during an exercise at RAF Scampton. Did you know 2 famous bomber pilots who served with number 61 Squadron during World War II were Leonard Cheshire and Mick Martin? I hadn't heard of Leonard Cheshire, but I had heard of Mick Martin. So there we go. It's all about 617 Squadron. And then here we got the bombing of Guernica. The rare raid against Guernica became a potent symbol of terror bombing, where civilian populations were forced into the front line. And there we can see a very early Heinkel 111 there. Terrible state of affairs. And it looks like for this magazine that is it. And then on the back here we've got coming in issue 10. You can see we've got the navigator's table, we've got the support post there, we've got some bits and pieces there. So going along, right, so let's have a look at part 9 and see what we've got in here. So we've got a box of bits. Again, we've got little Ziploc bags. Well, they're not Ziplocs, are they? They're just whatever you call them. Pour those parts out of there. So we've got our bag of the spare bits. We can get the light on now because we're looking at parts rather than magazines. So we're going to check all our parts. So we've got that one there. We've got, what have we got here? We've got that one there. We've got that one there. That's our parachute box. Got that there. We've got a parachute here. We've got a fire extinguisher, which I'm not sure should be red. And we've got a box there, that's for our azimuth thing. And that's that one there. That should be like a crimsony red colour because it was Bakelite. I think that should be copper coloured. Parachute looks okay. So, what's that? 09D. 09D. G display support. Okay. I know what they're going to do here. They're going to take us down the route of having H2S, aren't they? Let's have a look. Right, I think they're going to take us down the route of having H2S. So we're looking in here, take two parts of the navigator's G set, 09G and 09B, check how the peg on the base of 09G fits in the socket, fix in place with little glue if necessary. So we are going to take this part here, which is 09G, and we're going to take this part here, which is 09B, and that D-shaped pin is going to go into that D-shaped hole, like so. And it's quite tight, but it does go in. There we go. So that's the top of the or the bottom, whatever the case may be. Turn the assembly from step 1 so that you can access the base of the G display. Check how the support 09D fits in place. A D-shaped peg on part 09D fits in the corresponding socket on part. Use a little glue to hold the parts if necessary. So that is going to go in there like that. Okay, I can see what's happening, I think. And I'm going to be taking all this apart and modifying it and cutting it all about because it's all wrong. Oh, hang on, maybe it is correct. Okay, so turn the assembly from step 2 the right way up. Okay, so that's the right way up. With part 09D at the base, turn the framework 09A and check how the pegs on the upright bar fit in the sockets in part 09B. This is all wrong. This is H2S, this isn't G. So basically that is going to go into those holes there. And they are very, very tight. I'm just going to clip them in that because I'm going to be taking all this apart, I think. Okay. It says use a little glue if necessary. Now we've got another parachute going together. So here we've got a D-shaped pin on the back of there. We've got a D-shaped hole in there. So that's just going to go in there like that. Okay. And then this parachute is going to go onto there. We've got small pins and large pins. So we've got two small pins there. We've got two large pins there. Surprisingly, this is very surprising. I'm just looking at this. They have got there's a D-shaped hole in there and there's a D-shaped hole in there. Okay? And they've drawn it the other way up. So something is wrong here. The parachute is upside down. So don't worry about that. I don't think it really matters. And that's just going to clip into there like so. Alright, so that's that done. And we've got these pieces here left over. We go over the page. We're going to fit the fire extinguisher in next to the parachute. Probably better to fit the fire extinguisher first. Actually, it's going to be a lot easier to get in there like that, and then put the parachute in afterwards. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to fit the electrical unit. This is actually a box where the azimuth unit is stored. So that's going to go in there, and that should be like a crimson colour. So that's that. So this shows the framework 09A with the G equipment, parachute, fire extinguisher and electrical unit in place. The electrical unit is a storage box for an azimuth, and that looks very much to me like H2S. So this is all incorrect. This is correct, but we shouldn't have this bar going up here, and yeah, we're going to have to do some modification here, I think. That's going to go in further if you push it in enough. I'm not going to because it's all wrong. But that should go in further, and that should come like that, as you can see there. Whereas this one's sitting forward. So that's that assembly finished. So that has been part 9. So let's have a look at pack 10. Okay, so pack 10, just like pack 9, was in a bag with a box. So we can open this up and have a look at the magazine as per usual. Let's have a look and see what we've got in here. It's the first time I've combined 2 packs, but because that last one was so quick, I think I'll combine them. Right, so we'll get that out of the way and we'll have a look at the magazine. So we've got all that there, we've got all our parts in here. So we've got power units ×3, 10D is an air position indicator. 10C is a fish pond indicator. We shouldn't have fish pond in a Dambuster. 10B is a wireless accumulator. Okay, so that there is incorrect. We shouldn't have that ramp on there. As I say, we'll correct all that in another video. So we've got the assembly instructions here. So we're going to be getting our floor. I've got the floor here ready. And we're going to fit these boxes and everything to the floor. Now then, DV245, the Saint. The Saint was a Mark III Lancaster built at the Metropolitan Vickers plant at Trafford Park, Manchester. It flew more than 100 missions before she was downed in 1945, unfortunately. Lovely picture there of the tractor towing the bomb racks. We've got the beautiful fuel tanker there. There's all the information about the bomber there, and there she is. And then strategic bombing. So from the beginning of World War I, strategic bombing rapidly developed into a devastating instrument of destruction. Yeah, strategic bombing unfortunately turned into area bombing, and they just completely annihilated cities rather than strategically bombing certain areas. And here we go, about 1942, bombing Japan. And we all know what happened there. So yeah, very sad indeed. Very sad times. Let's hope they never return. Okay, so we've got our parts list here for part 10. We've got our box. So let's get the parts out. And we'll have a look. So again, we've got these little bags which are really handy to keep hold of, so don't throw them away. Only later models of the Lancaster are fitted with the fish pond indicator type 1A2, so you may prefer to omit this part from the model. Told you. So if it didn't have the big bulge on the bottom, because Chris messaged me the other day and informed me of such a thing, fish pond was actually part of H2S. So you'll see some Lancasters with the big bulge on the bottom, just behind where the gun would be in the belly. If it doesn't have that, it won't have fish pond. It's the same if you're building the border model kit, leave out certain parts. I've covered all that in various videos. Then we've got 3 little electric boxes there, so we can check against there. We've got all our parts, so we can carry on with the build. Right, so we have part 10D, which is, hang on a second, which is the fish pond. 10D is the air position indicator. So take the tabletop and identify 3 holes along one edge where the navigator's air position indicator fits. Part D has 2 large pegs and 1 smaller. So we've got this part here. So that is literally, let's get the light on now because we're dealing with parts. That part there is going to go into the table like so. I'm just going to push that in because we're going to be painting this table. Do we have any sprue connections? No, we're okay. So that's going to go in there. This part shows 10D in place. The near side long edge of the tabletop runs along the port side of the cabin. The wireless operator's position with the Morse key is indicated by the arrow. So this is the wireless operator's position. This is the navigator's position here. Wireless navigator. So take part 10C, the fish pond indicating approach aircraft, and fit in place on the wedge-shaped support on the tabletop. Use a little glue to hold the pegs in place. Here is the fish pond indicator. If you want to fit it into your model, you can. It's going to go in there. I'm not going to fit it. Don't want it. It's not correct. So we should cut that lump off of there as well and deal with that. Turn the tabletop over and identify the fixing point for the tubular stay E. A peg on the tab of the stay fits into a socket near the corner of part 10A as indicated left and shown above. So we've got that there is going to go into that there. So this will be the back end of the table. We've got a D-shaped peg on here. And it looks like we've got some flash on there which is going to prevent it going in. Yes, so we can see we've got some flash on there. So we'll just take we'll take a file, I'll take a sanding stick, and I'm just going to sand away that raised edge of plastic there. And then we can get that to go in. It's not D-shaped actually, it's like a oval kind of shape. So push that in there like that. Okay, and that's going to go, it should go all the way in. I'm not going to push it all the way in because I'm going to be taking it apart again, but make sure it's gone all the way in. So that's just going to sit like that. Okay, so there's your table. And now we're going to take the floor, which comes from way back, like part 4 or something, and we're going to identify the fixing points of the 3 floor units 10F on the cockpit floor. Each unit has one larger and one smaller peg. So these things here are going to go into there, and into there. Sorry, into there. There we go. And they will need gluing, those, because they are not a very tight fit. So they're all in. See those in there? Okay. I'm going to go over the page, and it's showing us those. And now it's going to tell us 10B, identify the fixing point for the floor unit 10B. It is positioned next to the fixing unit, next to the floor unit 10F that runs across the floor. So we've got a large peg and a small peg. We've got a large hole and a small hole. So that is literally just going to fit into there like that. So there we've got all that interior detail. This really is a lovely model. And then we've got this picture here is showing us those units fixed in place. And this is how it's all going to look when we're finished. So there we go. Working straddle navigators and wireless operators table and units have been fitted to the cockpit floor. So we've got our fish pond there loft off. And then from part 9 we've got this assembly here, which is eventually going to go into here like that. Okay, and then when we put the pilot seat in as well, you can see how lovely all of this is going to look. Very, very nice indeed. So there we are. So we've got to do some modification here, we've got to do some modification there, but we'll get that done in a separate video, and that will be out very soon, as I keep saying. So there we go, that has been part 10. And we can just have a look now. Actually, that table is going to fit onto the ends of there, and that peg's going to go in there, so that's the table's going to go, so we can see how it's all starting to come together. Okay, so there we are. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all very, very soon. I've had a notification that the next pack is on its way. Today is the 11th of April 2024. So thank you for watching. I will see you all very soon, and look out for part 11, or pack 11 should I say. Bye for now.